All right, welcome to Talkin Investing. I am Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Today, I want to talk about RIOT Blockchain, stock ticker RIOT. RIOT is a Bitcoin mining company. We talk about Bitcoin and the Bitcoin miners all the time on this channel, so if that's content that you're interested in, please remember to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Also, if everybody could please smash the like button, that is helping the channel out a lot, and I appreciate it. Lastly, if you want to be a member of the channel, you can hit the join button and you can become a member, and members get some additional content as well as an additional live stream every Tuesday after the market closed. So we had a great live stream last night. Thanks to the members for joining me. Riot put their monthly operational report out yesterday, and I will tell you it left me a bit confused. So I want to go through in detail and talk about what happened and what piece of information I think is missing, and talk about what I expect to see next month. So this is some good news and some missing news, I guess is what I would say. So let's dig into it. Okay, first of all, if we look at Riot, we're early in the trading day. We're down about 6% today. So we've had two very green days in a row. We're having a little bit of a red day today. So that leaves Riot around $7.11. Just around a $1 billion market cap. So as you guys know, I like to start out by just putting that into perspective. Riot right now is at a $1 billion market cap. Way back in February of 2021, when things were a little bit out of control, this got close to a $6 billion market cap. I don't like to use that number. I like to look at these two numbers. In November, when Bitcoin hit their all-time high, so that was less than a year ago, this was a $4 billion market cap company. And then as recently as late March, when Bitcoin had a nice little recovery rally, this was a $2.7 billion company. So they're now $1.0 billion. So this company is down drastically off of its highs. This is no different than the rest of the Bitcoin mining industry. In fact, Riot and Marathon are the best two performing Bitcoin mining stocks. So I'm not saying they're the best two companies or the best investments, but they've been the best two performing Bitcoin mining stocks. And even with that, you'll see they're still down, 75% from their highs in November of 2021. Okay, so let's get to the press release. I want to talk about what's in here, and then more specifically, I want to talk about what's not in here. Riot produces 355 Bitcoin in September 2022 and significantly expands exahash rate capacity to all-time records. So there is some good news in here that we're going to get to, but 355 Bitcoin in the month of September was not a good number. I don't know how else to say that. It just wasn't a good number. Now, we'll get into why that probably is, but there's some missing pieces of information that don't let me really get the full picture of what happened in September. It says Riot made remarkable operational progress in September, which was the last month of our participation in the ERCOT's 4CP program for the year. So that is the energy curtailment program, and that is the information that we are missing in this monthly update. The last few months, they've told us exactly what their energy credit was, so we were able to add up the amount of Bitcoin they mined, plus the amount of energy credits they got, and we were able to get a handle on what their revenue was for the quarter. But you'll see this quarter, they did not disclose that, so I'm just going to show you what I'm talking about. If I go back to the previous month, you'll see the second bullet point under Bitcoin production and operations. Riot earned an estimated $3 million in power credits. Okay, that helps me put things in perspective. So I can convert that. They did 374 Bitcoin. They got $3 million in power credits. I understand what their revenue was in the month. The previous month, this is July, here you'll see they produced 318, so that was a very low number, but second bullet point, Riot earned an estimated $9.5 million in power credits. So this was actually one of their best months, although with 318 Bitcoin, it looked like a bad month. If I go to this month's operational update, under Bitcoin production and operations updates, they do not disclose the amount of power credits that they received. So all the information that I have here is 355 Bitcoin produced, which, for the amount of hash rate that they have, means they were running possibly as low as 50% capacity for the month, but something drastically off of full capacity. So I want to know, did they get compensated for that? I mean, as an investor, I don't like to assume that, and you can see what the giant difference, even between July, they made $9 million, and August, they made $3 million. So I'm not going to assume anything for the month of September. I don't know. That number could be zero for all I know. So obviously we'd like to see that it was maybe another $3 million and then we're kind of business as usual. Now, that is the last month of all this. So here's the thing. The October update for Riot is going to be critical because I'm going to go on and show you what they're set up to do. They've now drastically increased their exahash rate and they are no longer curtailing energy. So October should be a full clean month of data. Okay, we are thrilled to announce that Building D, the 6th building at our Rockdale facility, is now online. Our team has expanded Riot's total developed fleet by 9,070 miners and increased our hash rate capacity to an all-time high of 5.6 exahash per second. That would be higher than everybody except for Core Scientific right now. Additionally, we have already received nearly 15,000 S19 series miners, including the newest generation X19 XPs. In the coming months, we will remain focused on aggressively increasing our deployment hash rate as we work towards our goal of reaching 12.5 exahash in the first quarter of 2023. So they've remained consistent. 12.5 exahash. They've been reporting at or around that number for the last year. They bumped it down just a tiny little bit. They retired some machines, but 12.5 exahash has been their goal for a long time. So they still say they're on target for that. They may be getting there 1 or 2 or 3 months later than they would have hoped maybe a year ago, but basically on plan. The curveball for these guys has been all this curtailment that they've participated in and these energy credits. So we're going to need to see the financial ramifications of that when we get their third quarter financial statements. But in the meantime, I do feel like the market reacted negatively to the fact that they did not disclose these credits. So, I mean, if I was Riot, I would put out a second press release and let everybody know what the energy credits were for September. Now, obviously, eventually, we're going to find that out when we get the financial statements in November. Okay, so let's just go through their production operation update real quick. So we talked about 355 Bitcoin, a decrease of approximately 13% as compared to September 2021. So that's a year-over-year decrease. Okay, let's get beyond that. As of September 30th, 2022, Riot has approximately 6,775 Bitcoin, all produced by the company's self-mining operations. So Riot has taken a hybrid strategy. They are hodling some of their Bitcoin and they're spending some of the Bitcoin that they mine to pay for monthly operations. So they've pretty much been on that same strategy all year long. They have not had to sell any of the Bitcoin that they've amassed over time. They were on a 100% hodl strategy in 2021, so that allowed them to get, you'll see they're approaching 7,000 Bitcoin. They have the third most Bitcoin on their balance sheet of any publicly traded company. Okay, in September 2022, Riot sold 300 Bitcoin, generating net proceeds of approximately $6.1 million. So that's approximately what they've been doing for the last 6 months, selling plus or minus 300 Bitcoin a month. So it would seem that covers their overhead, that pays for operations. So you can see why it's going to make a big difference. They mined 355 Bitcoin, so that only allowed them to hodl 55 Bitcoin. If they were fully operational and they're at that 600 or 650, now all of a sudden they're about 50-50 hodl and spending their Bitcoin. And I think that's the hybrid scenario that they're looking for. Obviously, the summer curtailments didn't allow that, but they were otherwise compensated with energy credits to a significant amount of money. As of September 30th, 2022, Riot had deployed a fleet of 55,728 miners with a hash rate capacity of 5.6 exahash. Okay, so that's where they're at right now. All in all, this is a very good place. However, the September production, I don't want to say it was a disappointment. I think we have an incomplete picture of what happened in September. So for the moment, what I am going to do is just essentially wait for the October production results. So again, I'm going to show you their production by month for the last year. And I will tell you, October is going to be the crucial month for me as an investor in Riot. So I will be waiting for their October numbers. Obviously, October just started, so we're not there yet. But I'm looking for a specific number of Bitcoin mined in October, and I'll let you guys know what that is. To me, the number has to be over 600. They need to mine over 600 Bitcoin, and it really should be somewhere between 625 and 650 Bitcoin in the month of October. So if their October report comes out and I see those numbers, then I will feel very comfortable that they are on track. Okay, this is a chart of Riot's Bitcoin production by month for basically the last year. So you'll see September over September. Last September was 406. So they actually mined less this September, despite the fact that they have more than double the exahash rate. They were in the 500s already back in March and April, which is why I say if October is going to be business as usual, we've got to see a big jump from this number because they have substantially more exahash now, even in comparison to the increase in difficulty level. So we should start to see some much bigger numbers. And I would expect them to grow even much bigger than that by December. So we need to see them reverse this trend. You can see this has been trending downward. We know the reason why, but it's time now for this to to start trending upward in a big way. So if I look at Riot on the 1-day time frame, Riot's actually one of the best performers over the last 90 to 100 days. So they had a gigantic run up, as did all the Bitcoin miners. There were 8 or 9 Bitcoin miners that had 100% plus run up in July through somewhere in the middle of August. So you can see Riot was up 161%. Well, they held a lot of those gains. A lot of Bitcoin miners have now retested this summer low, and about a third of the Bitcoin miners have actually taken out this low, and they're hitting new lower lows. So you can see Riot is nowhere near that. Riot is still almost 43% off of their summer low, or put the other way, they're still up about 75% from their summer lows. So they have held on strong. Again, their market cap still is way down. It's at $1 billion, and realistically, you know, this was a $3 or $4 billion company just very recently. So I would expect to see these guys ramp up. If they can have 1 or 2 months in a row where they can prove they're running all of this exahash and they're running it at a reasonably efficient rate, then I think we could see a nice run up in Riot, even if Bitcoin goes sideways. Now, obviously, if Bitcoin tanks, that's going to affect the price of Riot in the short term. Conversely, if Bitcoin has a nice rally, there may be some significant upside left on Riot. So the first thing is there's 50% upside left just to get back to where Riot was in August. Now, Bitcoin was only at $25,000 at the end of that relief rally in August. So we're not very far away from that. So I do think this is an extremely realistic short-term 30, 60, 90-day goal for Riot's price. Riot was trading at about $46 back in November. They're now trading at $7. So you can see the drastic decrease in the price of this stock. So I'm not even going to really use these numbers. We are a long, long way from last November when Bitcoin was at $69,000. However, what I do want to look at is Bitcoin had a very nice relief rally in March of 2022. So that was not that long ago. So this is more of a longer term price target, but if Bitcoin can get healthy, and again, to me, I'm looking at healthy as $30,000 to $35,000 trading range for Bitcoin right now, even if we could have a run up to $25,000. But more importantly, if we could get back to some healthy $30,000 to $35,000 range, I think this is a very realistic price target. This is a 232% increase in Riot's stock price. If Bitcoin can just get a little healthy, I view this as, you know, potentially a 12-month price target, even if it's an 18-month price target. So obviously Riot is a very volatile stock. Bitcoin is very volatile. All the Bitcoin miners are very volatile, so please be careful while investing. That's what I got for you on Riot. That is their September update, so thanks so much for watching, and remember to subscribe to the channel and smash the like button. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks.